Ignore how bad I look, but I'm going to read some poems for people. This is the Book of the Flower Fairies by Circely Mary Barker, and it was given to my godmother for Christmas in 1934, and it's got a little message in the front. So it's almost 100 years old. Well, not almost, it's like 86 years old. So I'm going to read some of the spring poems because they go through spring, summer, autumn, winter. Wait, I don't know if there's winter, hang on. There doesn't seem to be winter. I think it's just spring, summer and autumn. Because obviously there's no flowers in winter, is there? That makes sense. Okay, so the first one's called Spring Magic. The world is very old, but year by year it groweth new again. When bud appear, the world is very old, and sometimes sad. But when the daisies come, the world is glad. The world is very old, but every spring it groweth young again, and fairies sing. And that is the picture that goes with that poem. They've each got like a little pretty drawing or something. And then the next page is this pretty picture, which doesn't have a poem. And then we've got the Song of the Snowdrop Fairy. Deep sleeps the winter, cold, wet and grey. Surely the world is dead, spring is far away. Wait, the world shall waken. It is not dead, follow. The fair maids of February stand in the snow. And there is the Snowdrop Fairy. The Song of the Hazel Catkin Fairy. Like little tails of little lambs on leafless twigs, my catkins swing. They dingle merrily before the wakening of spring. Beside the pollen-laden tails, my tiny crimson tufts you see, the promise of autumn nuts upon the slender hazel tree. Yet while yet the woods lay grey and still, I'll give my tidings. Spring is near. One day I shall leap to life with fairies calling. Spring is here. And there is the Hazel Catkin Fairy. They're very beautiful pictures, and oh, I love them so much. I love this book. And then we have a Song of the Colt's Foot Fairy. The winds of March are keen and cold. I fear them not, for I am bold. I wait for my leaves to grow. They follow after, they are slow. My yellow blooms are brave and bright. I greet the springs with all my might. And there is the Colt's Foot Fairy. And some of these flowers are now extinct because this book is so old that some of them are very rare now. Obviously this isn't. The Song of the Dead Nettle Fairy. Through sun and rain, the country lane, the field, the road are my abode. Though leaf and bush be splashed with mud, who cares? Not I. I see the sky, the kindly sun, the wayside fun of trampling folk who smoke and joke, the barns who heed my dusty weed. No sting have I to make them cry, and truth to tell, they love me well. My brothers, white and yellow bright, are finger chaps than I. Perhaps, who cares? Not I. So now, goodbye. And there is the Dead Nettle Fairy. It's very pretty, yeah, little fairy. And you can see how old the book is because it's got slightly yellow pages, but I do look after this book extremely well. It's the only book that I have that I look at often, apart from the Bible, so it's quite special to me. The Song of the Celandine Fairy. Before the hawthorn leaves unfold, or buttercups put forth their gold, every sunny footpath shine the stars of celestial Celandine. Sorry, I am dyslexic. But yeah, she's very pretty as well. The Song of the Willow Catkin Fairy. So we had hazel catkins, now we've got willow catkins. The people call me palm, they do. They call me pussy willow too. When I'm full in bloom, the bees come humming round my yellow trees. The people tramp round about, and spoil the little trees and shout. My shiny twigs are thin and brown, and people pull and break them down. To keep a holy feast, they say, to take my pretty boughs away. I should be glad, I should not mind, if only people weren't unkind. Oh, you may pick a piece, you may, so dear and silky, soft and grey, but if you're rough and greedy, why, you'll make the little fairies cry. And then in brackets it says, this catkin is the flower of the sallow willow. And these are the really pretty, we have some of these in our lounge, the fluffy ones, and they're just really soft and like very, very fluffy. Okay, and the next one. The Song of the Groundsdale Fairy. If Dicky birds should buy and sell in tiny markets, I can tell the way they'd spend their money. They'd ask for the price of cherries sweet, they'd choose the pinkest worms for meat, and common groundsel for a treat. Though you might think it funny, love me not or love me well, that's the way they'd buy and sell. And these you can find in the cracks in pavements, along the walls and stuff. I used to think they were dandelions when I was little, but they are groundsel. And then we have the Song of the Windflower Fairy. While human folk slumber, the fairies espay, stars without numbers sprinkling the sky. The winter's long and sleeping, like night-time is done, but day's stars are leaping to welcome the sun. Starlight they sprinkle, the wildwood they with light, countless they twinkle, the windflowers white. In brackets it says, the windflower is another name for wood anemone, or something like that. And she's beautiful. She's got butterfly wings and a pink skirt and her flowers. Song of the Shepherd's Purse Fairy. Though I am poor to human eyes, really I am rich and wise. In every tiny flower I shed leaves a heart-shaped purse instead. In every purse is wealth indeed, in every coin a living seed. Sow the seed upon the earth, living plants shall spring to birth. Silly people's purses hold, lifeless silver, clinking gold, but you cannot grow a pound from a farthing in the ground. Money may become a curse, give me then my shepherd's purse. And there is the shepherd's purse fairy. Which I'm not sure if I've seen a shepherd's purse before, I'm not sure. Oh, and this is this one is my favourite picture, so I'm going to read the poem and then I'll show you my favourite pet fairy. The Song of the Daisy Fairy. Come to me and play with me, I'm the baby's flower. Make a necklace gay with me, spend the whole long day with me, till the sunset hour. I must say good night, you know, till tomorrow's playtime. Close my petals tight, you know, shut the red and white, you know, sleeping till the daytime. And look how sweet this little fairy is. Isn't she just so perfect? She makes me so happy. I want to get a print off of her and have her on my wall because she just makes me smile. And then we have the Song of the Dandelion Fairy. Hear the dandelions rhyme, see my leaves with tooth-like edges, blow my clocks to tell the time, see me flaunting by the hedges. In the meadow, in the lane, gay and naughty in the garden, pull me up, I grow again, asking neither leave nor pardon. Sillies, what are you about, with your spades and hoes of iron? You can never drive me out, me, the dauntless dandelion. I actually love dandelions, they make me happy, like at the moment, because of the coronavirus, nobody's been like going out and weeding in the fields or cutting all the grass, and so the dandelions in the fields, like at the park near my house, like the rec, covered in yellow because you can just see the dandelions, and it's so beautiful. I love it. And there is the dandelion fairy. They're very cheeky. And then we have the daffodil fairy, and I always get the dandelion and the daffodil mixed up. I think it's to do with my dyslexia, but I can't process dandelion, daffodil, dandelion, so I always call them the wrong thing, and my little sister tells me off. So, the Song of the Daffodil Fairy. I'm everyone's darling, the blackbird and the starling are shouting about me from blossoming boughs, for I, the lily, the daffy-down-dilly, have heard those the country call to arouse. The orchids are orchards. The orchards are ringing with voices of singing. The praise of my petticoat, praise of my gown. These children are playing, and hark, they are saying, that daffodilly has come upon town. And there is the daffodil fairy. Very pretty. The dog violet fairy. The song of the dog violet fairy. The wren and robin hop around, the primrose maids my neighbours be. The sun has warmed the mossy ground, where spring has come, I too am be found. The cuckoo's call awaken me. I like that colour. Primrose fairy. The primrose open wide in spring, her scent is sweet and good. I'll start again. The primrose open wide in spring, her scent is good, sweet and good. It smells of every happy thing in sunny lane and wood. If I have not half the skill to sing, I praise her as I should. She's dear to folk throughout the land, in her is nothing mean. She freely spreads on every hand, her petals pale and clean. Though she's neither proud nor grand, she is the country queen. And she is a very pretty little fairy. The song of the lady smock fairy. Where grass is damp and green, where shallow streams are flowing, where the cowslip buds are showing, I am seen, dainty as a fairy's frock, white or mauve, of elfin sewing. Is the meadow, maiden growing. Is the lady smock. It's in old language, some of it, so I can't read it, but that's really pretty. The song of the larch fairy. Sing a song of larch trees, loved by fairy folks. Dark stands the pine wood, bare stands the oak, but the larch is dressed and trimmed, fit for fairy folk. Sing a song of larch trees, sprays the swing aloft. Pink tufts and tassels, grass and green soft, all the praise to the little elves singing songs aloft. The bluebell fairy. I'll read out a poem that I wrote about bluebells. So let's see the comparison. Because mine was about the fairies too, and this was before I received this book. Song of the Bluebell Fairy. My 100,000 bells of blue, the splendour of the spring, they carpet the woods anew with royalty and sapphire hue. The primrose is the queen, 'tis true, but I am the king. Yes, the peerless woodland king. Loud, loud, the thrushes sing their song. The bluebell woods are wide, my stems are tall and straight and strong. From ugly streets the children throng. They gather armfuls great and long, and then home they troop in pride. Yes, with laughter and with pride. And then the one I wrote, I'll just grab for you. Sorry. And this was what I actually wrote in year 7, so I wrote it in 2016, so it's 4 years old compared to 86 years old. Right. Bluebells. One windy May afternoon, I was walking up a hill, round a bend, and over a stile. A sudden heavenly scent made me look and stare. I saw a single bluebell standing guard. I heard a tiny ring, as if it was a fairy pulling on a church bell. I entered a clearing, dark oak leaves sheltering, as though I'd entered a great hall, a sapphire carpet covering the floor. There were thousands of them, little blue fairies singing in the wind. If I listened carefully, I could hear them, as quiet as a kiss in the breeze. I tiptoed close, in the hopes they would not flee. Stepping on the mossy bed, I caught a glimpse of verdant wings, but when I knelt to see, they were gone, leaving their caps behind. So yeah, that's that poem that I wrote, and I think it goes well with the other one. I think it corresponds quite well. So I'm going to leave it there for now, I think. Let me just see when the summer ones start, because I might be able to do a few more. Now there's too much, so I will maybe do another one if this one gets one like. Thank you for watching. Bye.